The class of 92, Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Paul Scholes, the Nevilles, Nicky Butt. To be honest, I despise them all because they made Manchester United one of the best teams in the world for quite a long time, and I hated that as a rival fan. But for those of you of a certain vintage, I imagine it would be quite cool to be able to go and use these players again in Football Manager 2022. And well, that's now possible. Today we're going to explore that and jump right into it. Let's go. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Clayts. Today, I'm very excited. You can probably tell because the brand new 1992-93 retro custom database is here. It's been made by the mad scientist, and I just want to start really by doing a massive shout out for him because the work that has gone into this is sensational. You can see here, I've loaded in, I've made myself the manager of Manchester United because today's video is going to be themed all around the class of 92. We'll get to that in a second because first of all, I just want to say shout out to the mad scientist. His links and everything are in the description down below. You can go and get hold of this database yourself by following those links. And honestly, if you're of a certain vintage and you remember these players, if you played the old Championship Manager games, then you're going to be loving this. I actually didn't think I'd feel as nostalgic as I did, but I looked at the Liverpool team and I was like, oh, I remember collecting do you remember Pro Stars? Or they called Pro Stars, but you know, like they had the big head, the little big head figures. I had so many of those players that I was looking at in this game, and it really, you know, it got me right. It pulled me by the heartstrings. I think that's a saying, isn't it? Before we jump into it properly then, as we go through and try to see what happens to the class of 92 as we do their careers all over again. Before we do that, a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this type of video. If you've enjoyed any of our videos previously, make sure you do subscribe. It is, of course, free, and also it does help me out. It shows that you guys enjoy what you are watching. It helps us to hit some landmarks and some milestones too. Also, you can turn on the notification bell to be notified about future videos too. If there are any other videos that you want me to do with this database, do you want me to go and do anything with like the Spice Boys at Liverpool, for example, as a bit of a contrast to today's video? If you want me to go and do like a save, like a ongoing let's play for a little bit, maybe a few episodes of taking over a team, then let me know in the comments down below. I am very, very open to that. I want to hear what you guys want to see though. First of all, let me know in those comments. Like today's video too, because it does push it out to more people, and I think that should be enough of the old plugin. Also, thank you to the new Patreons too. I think we've got 7 Patreons, so shout out those guys. You'll see your names in today's video. The link to the Patreon is in the Claytron, I should say, is in today's description as well. Let's go and see what happens to the class of 92 if we do their careers all over again. Okay, so as we go back in time then, the year now is 1992. I know it says 2021 in game, but it's 1992, and Leeds have just won the first division title this year. 92-93 is the first year of the brand new, newly formed Premier League, and it was really the start of the new regime, the new approach to English football, where it was all that TV money, the Sky Sports money, and everything changed from this point. Some people call it year zero because it was a brand new start completely. So much more money in the game, so many foreign players coming into the English game as well, and things just weren't the same ever again after this point. It started to get us to this point where we are at nowadays, where the money is completely out of control. You can see then that the title holders here are Leeds, but it was Manchester United that went on to win the league title in this particular year, and that's why we're going to be doing our little career resim, our little simulation based on Manchester United, because of course there were some famous things happening at the club around this time. You can see actually these legends, icons, favoured personnel are listed as the ones that are in 2022, but on there you can see players on this list like Gary Neville and Nicky Butt and Phil Neville, of course. This is where the class of 92 first came through. If I show you the squad in 1992 here, if I sort it by age, look, right at the bottom there, look, you've got Ryan Giggs as a fresh-faced 19-year-old. I love saying fresh-faced. But actually, if we go a little bit deeper down, we go to the under-23s. There's Giggs, look, turning into a brilliant player already at 19. Slightly, he's one of the older of the class of 92, really. But if we go to the under-23s and go to the squad here, if I sort these ones by value, you can see we have Beckham, Scholes, Neville, But, and then actually, if you go even further down to the under 18, you'll also see Phil Neville as a 15-year-old. I'll show you some of those players because I'm sure you want to see their profiles. If we have a look at David Beckham to start with, 17 years old. Look, by the way, you can actually go and download these face packs and everything that go with this database too, which I think adds a nice little extra layer of authenticity, doesn't it? It's nice to have them in. There you see David Beckham, look, as a 17-year-old. What we're going to do is keep an eye on him and see how he develops, see whether he stays at Manchester United, see whether he moves on, see how Manchester United actually do. Do they match the record that they managed to achieve in real life? Or do they struggle a bit more because they lose their place? We don't know. Football Manager will decide, won't they? There you see Scholes. Look, if we have a look at his profile, still only got 12 passing. What's his tackling attribute, actually? That's what I'm interested in. Only 6. Do you know what? Very accurate for Paul Scholes there. Let's have a look at Gary Neville then as well. Of course, the right back that played it so well in tandem with David Beckham down that right-hand side in years to come. Of course, all leading up to 1999 where they won that treble. Will they go and achieve something like that again in this particular save? It's going to be a long shot. It's going to be difficult to do. But do you know what? Having a look at some of these 17-year-olds and how good they can turn out to be, it could just be possible. It could be possible indeed. Nicky Butt there as the next one, still looking really good as a 17-year-old. And we're going to keep an eye on these, as well as maybe we'll check in with Robbie Savage, who, to be honest, looks okay himself as a 17-year-old. Some of these players, some of the things you can look at in this save is just so much fun. By the way, I know we didn't actually click on Phil Neville, but look how good he looks as a 15-year-old. He actually might end up being really good in this save. What we're going to do to simulate this is go to 5 years in the future and then 10 years into the future, just to see how things go, really, to see where they end up, to see, has the team stayed together, has Manchester United been successful? And then if that is something you want to continue, maybe we'll go and do 15 years, 20 years, or until they retire. And yeah, I think it's time to go back to the future or something. Okay, here we are then. It is 10 years in the future and we're going to go and see what happened to Manchester United. But I think we should just start with this on the screen. This is the Manchester United team 10 years into our save after starting in 1992 then. Just have a look at this for a size. Shevchenko, Giggs, Rivaldo, Lampard, Zidane, Vieira, Gary Neville, Anderson, Hyypiä, Zambrotta and Schmeichel. They have built probably, I mean, a team of legends. This is a super team. And then even on the bench, Ugo Ehiogu has made it on there, but even players like Cliver on the bench. Look, Makalele's there, but out on loan. They've loaned him to Dynamo Kiev. But what a side they have built. There are some missing players. Del Piero, I've just noticed him on the bench as well. There are some missing players from our class of 92. We're going to check in with them first of all. Then we'll have a look at what Manchester United won. Did they go and do better than they did in real life? I think just looking at this, I think that might well be the case. Of course, there were some foreign player limits actually during some of these years. If you remember back to Championship Manager, you could only sign 3 foreign players, couldn't you? On this, you can go to town and do whatever you like, it seems, because look at the side they have built here. Let's start going through then the class of 92. We'll start with the players that are still at the club. We'll start with Gary Neville because he's still there as now a 27-year-old in his prime. And what a right back they've got there. I assume he's been a regular. He has been a regular. He's probably keeping out some very decent players on this bench as well. Gary Neville there then. He's done very, very well. How many England caps? He's got 61. So he's well on his way to a very decent total indeed. He scored 1 goal for England as well. He got 17 under 21 caps. He's on a £115,000 per week too. Of course, the wages and the transfer fees are going to be reflecting in real life terms as well, which maybe they would do with inflation too, but of course more than you'd expect for some of these players that we're looking at. Let's go through to this first team squad. The only other player from the class of 92 in the starting 11 is Ryan Giggs. He looked brilliant at the start. He's now 29. He's valued at 39 million to 117 million. And look at this for a profile. Look at those physicals there. 18 acceleration, 20 agility. You think of that goal against Arsenal, don't you? You know, where he's whipped off his shirt. I won't do that for the video because of monetization and that. But Ryan Giggs, 29 years old now. He's got 105 caps for Wales. Looking sensational. He is wanted. He's wanted by AC Milan. How many games has he played for United now? 418. 73 goals. 126 assists from him too. I wonder if he's actually won any milestones in there. Did he win? I mean, they won the Champions League. Look, did he win? He got 3rd place in midfielder of the season. Champions League winners again. They've won a lot of Champions Leagues, it seems. League Cup winners. Just looking at maybe some personal awards. Did he win anything, Ryan Giggs? I'm not quite sure. If we look through, he's been rated quite highly. He's been in the team of the year a few times. I don't see any Ballon d'Ors. Tell you what I will do. I'll look at the Ballon d'Or itself as well to go through those before the end of the video, just to see if any of our class of 92 are in there. Even also, it's just quite interesting to see, isn't it? Then if we go through, there are no other class of 92 players at the club anymore. We're going to have to search them up, which means Nicky Butt has moved on and David Beckham has moved on and Phil Neville we know about already, but also Paul Scholes has moved on to another club too. In fact, let's start with Paul Scholes. Where has he ended up 10 years in the future? He's now at Another one that's gone to AC Milan, actually. So I imagine they're building a pretty strong team here at AC Milan. He's moved for £35 million, and he has been a starter just about. Look, he played 38 games last season. I wonder why he moved. I guess he just wasn't getting into the team at Manchester United. He played 3 games in his final season, only 18 games the season before that. No assists as well. He's now at AC Milan playing along. Let's have a look at their squad, playing with Batistuta and Rossanetti. McManaman's gone there. They've got Sol Campbell at centre-back. You see they've got a decent team there. But actually, even looking at this, although I think he was a starter, there's a reason, for some reason, he's not in the squad now. But he played 38 games last year. I think he would have been a starter in this squad. Neville, who's gone from Manchester United to Milan as well himself there. That's Scholes. Let's go to Beckham, the big one, I think, probably. Hang on a minute. I've just noticed Alex Ferguson is the AC Milan manager. No wonder he's signing these players. It's Fergie that's taken him to Milan. That's really cool. And that's why, actually, was it Giggs that was wanted? Or was it Gary Neville that was wanted by AC Milan as well? That's quite a storyline indeed. Who was the Manchester United manager then? If we go back to them, the United manager is Johan Cruyff. Wow. That's really cool. That is not what I expected, but that is very cool indeed. Let's go back to Beckham then and find out where he went. Probably the biggest name, the biggest celebrity. Tottenham. Wasn't he a Spurs supporter as a child? I think he was, wasn't he, David Beckham? He's ended up playing for them in 10 years from the start of our save. He's gone for £37 million, and he's been a regular there. After, I assume that was at the end of the season. He was struggling to get a start, though. Of course, Manchester United paid and brought in so many big players in this save. No wonder some of our class of 92 are being pushed out. But that is quite a storyline in itself. David Beckham at Spurs. He's got, oh my word, he's only got 2 caps for England. Beckham's really struggled in this. I'm not sure why, because have a look at this profile. Maybe just other players are as good, but he's only got 2 caps for England. That's a very different turnout for Becks there, for old Golden Balls, as I'm not sure why I've called him that there. Let's go and look through at Nicky Butt, and then finally, I think we just need to look at Phil Neville and see where he's ended up. Right, Nicky Butt's now at Everton, probably the least high profile out of everybody. He's ended up going to Leverkusen and then Everton after that. So he's back in the Premier League and doing well for himself. No caps for England for Nicky Butt. 35 caps though for the under-21s. Finally, let's check in with Phil Neville before we go and have a look at how successful Manchester United were, and also the Ballon d'Or winners too. Phil Neville's now at Barcelona. What is happening? This career is mental. He's been at Real Madrid, then Arsenal, and now Barcelona. Phil Neville is living the champagne lifestyle and then some. What is he on? He's on £275,000 per week. Phil Neville, what a guy. What a story. Phil Neville's now at Barcelona. Of course he is. He's got 46 caps for England as well. Hang on. He's not got more than Gary though, right? Gary's still got more than Phil. He's got more than David Beckham though, which that is quite something in itself, isn't it? Let's go and see just how successful Manchester United were then, with or without their class of 92, just with some of those superstars that we saw. Let's go and have a look at the Premier League season. They should have won 7 titles in this time period. They've actually ended up winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in this time period, so they have actually outdone themselves. I've just noticed, by the way, there is so much to this save. Raul is playing for Crystal Palace. I don't know where to start just telling you about things here. There's going to be so many people saying you've missed this. Of course I've missed this. Have you seen what's going on here? There's Manchester United most recently though, finishing 3rd. Arsenal won it the year before as well, so maybe they're slipping slightly, even though they've got this super team. Maybe they're slipping slightly. Let's have a look at the Champions League, because I think they probably will have won some more of those. They have indeed. Since 2021-22, look, where we started our save, we've got Real Madrid, Manchester United won it twice, and then won it 4 more times in a row recently. They've got quite a firm grip on that competition. They won it on penalties against Lazio most recently. I think the final thing that we will do is we will go and check on the Golden Ball or the Ballon d'Or. Did any of our class of 92 end up winning it? No, they did not. We had Mark Hughes, Maradona, Laudrup, Mark Hughes again. Lots of Manchester United players winning it, but not Manchester United players that are in the class of 92. Batistuta, Zidane, Figo winning it for Liverpool, and then Rivaldo twice for Manchester United. Is Rivaldo still at Manchester United? He is indeed. And then Andrei Shevchenko most recently winning that Ballon d'Or. I think that is just about where we will end it for today. Thank you so much for watching. There is so much more we could do in this particular database. There is so much more we could go and explore, but I think we'll probably leave it there. It's been a long one. Thank you for sticking with it. If you've not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all the Patreons as well most recently. Your names will be at the end of today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know what you want to see next in the comments too. I'll do my best to get it out to you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.